Good morning, beautiful people. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Beautiful, beautiful people. Man, I feel like, dude, I don't know. This week, were you guys looking forward for this week? We've had I don't know how I'm feeling about this week. Think it's okay. Market coming up on 600, at least SPY. Let me see. Let's pull it up here. I think we just tagged 600 SPY. Robin hoodie, by the way, for the hoodies out there. Oh, some stuff's looking good. I'm getting a little bit of a slow start today. 600. It's a little psychological level. We'll see. Certain things look good. I'm wondering, we got a couple big things to look up to this week, actually, huh? I need the guidance on lemonade. Yo. All right. We can take a look at that. Guidance on lemonade. That's a squeezy one, dude. I'll just say lemonade, lemon squeezy. See what I did there? Oh yeah, Boeing. That thing is wild. There were some headlines this week too. Apparently, a paper place. Apparently, they just can't hire enough, and I think it's China. Have you guys noticed, by the way, for Boeing? I don't know if you noticed. Whenever Trump goes and does these negotiations, like he somehow slips Boeing into there. Oh shit. Tom Crown in the house. My guy. What's up, man? Love that dude. If you don't follow Tom on YouTube X, you got to. But yeah, whenever Trump does these like trade negotiations, he seems to slip Boeing in there. Like he wants these countries to buy Boeing planes. So I mean, it's kind of a thing. I just saying. Any good headline over there, Boeing's gonna just to the moon, man. You crazy if you think you're crazy if you think we'll get to 150. Where's 150? Isn't it like 300 right now? I don't know. Tesla though, we will do some charts. Yes, Tesla will be one of the top watches for sure. But you know what? I got a little bit of a late start today, clearly. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's start. Oh, what's up with this background? I don't know what's going on there. All right, that's better. So we got two is that three? Two events today. First one, I think it's happening. I don't even know if it's now, right? First one is WWDC. That's my what are those called? The Apple goggles. But first one's WWDC, and the second one is RoboTaxi Day. Luckily, I think I don't know, at least from a price action perspective, it looks like both of these stocks have been de-risked. First of all, Jeff, you got me wrong. I've never even been on the market open, so there's somebody else. Like I did not mention 150 on Amit's market open. I don't know who that is, but it ain't me. Anyways, okay, I don't know what to say about that one. Yeah, so we got RoboTaxi today, or not today. We got WWDC today, and we got RoboTaxi later on. Both of those, I think the stocks, ideally, dude. Yeah, there you go, Jeff. I'm not Steve. Amit's True definitely thinks I'm Steve. That's hilarious. But I am actually, in fact, not Steve. So love ya, guys. I don't even sound like Steve. Where's Amit? We need Amit to come over here to my stream and just defend the fact that I'm not Steve. Like, I'm gonna call this guy right now. I feel like I need to call Amit right now. Ah! Dude, June, they're actually on my stream thinking I was Steve or Chris. I don't know. There's imposters. It's not. You have lost your mind. It's all good. Savage in the house. Love you guys. And I do love the fact, by the way, that there are so many of you guys coming over here from that crew. I appreciate all of you guys. All good, right? But much love. Appreciate the crew. Love Amit. Love all you guys. But today, listen. God, with the comments, he is Steve, though. Yeah, sure. I am. Whatever. All good. I'm not going to involve that guy. He just got off stream. So we got two events, right? So I think, though, both of these two stocks, whether it be Apple or Tesla, possibly. So typically, if you don't know, typically these are both sell the news events, both of them, both for Tesla and for Apple. Typically, they both run up into these events, and neither one has. So I'm really interested to see how they react after the events. I'm actually thinking that they might be de-risked a little bit here. But anyways, if you're new to the stream, this is what we do. Basically, just kind of go through the headlines and say, hey, what's going on this week? What do we have to look forward to? What happened last week? And also, what's on deck? And we'll go through a couple different stocks to watch out for, and maybe what the trend is for the week. We'll have some focus things. Maybe, just maybe, during the end of the stream, I'll give you a couple of things that I'm watching. That might be some focus trades for sure, but I'll go ahead and tell you right now that these two stocks, I think that they're going to be the pretty main focuses for us across the board. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Yeah, for sure. We'll go with that as the catchphrase. Anyway, so U.S.-China trade talks are happening, I believe now. These are the last headlines that I've caught right now in London. This is per the China press, so I'm gonna go with that. Looks like they're actually going through tomorrow. So this is really, it's a trade talk Trump type of market. And so right now these talks are going on. This is probably going to be the driver for the rest of the week. I think it can kind of go either way. So just be aware that this is probably the first thing that's going to happen, right? Savage. This guy, I love Savage, man. Oh God. But and then I know a lot of people are looking for rate cuts to come. We're getting a lot of this stuff. The US economy doesn't need rate cuts. I'm actually in the camp that I don't personally think that we're going to get a rate cut right now. I'm personally in the camp that yes, I think it would be nice. I think eventually they should, but does it have to be right now? The data, I'm not seeing that has to be right now personally. Could it be? Sure, but I don't know. I don't have anything that tells me I need to put money behind that trade just yet. We all saw the crazy child's play. I don't know what went. I mean, we know what happened last night. Did anybody see them last week? Did anybody see the meme? It was like Step Brothers. It was like the scene from Step Brothers where like the two they're fighting in the front yard, and like the mom and dad are trying to separate them, and it's like boom, they both get smashed in the head. It's like, dude, that's Trump and Musk for sure. JD Vance and mom trying to split them up. Fucking Savage, dude. Happy birthday, Savage. But yeah, I honestly think they'll kiss and make up eventually. I am in that camp. There's a lot of these like anti-Tesla trades going on, which some of us might be beneficiaries of those. Like I think June's in some Rocket Lab. I have some Redwire. I have some Rocket Lab. A lot of the space stocks, this catalyst aside, I think they're worthy of a lot of this move, but I'm a little cautious that they might be getting a little extra oomph. Oh shit. Look at this. Hey, I'm on stream.
Yo, what's up?
I have you're on stream right now. We're a speaker.
Okay.
I have to have you verify, by the way, that I am not Steve or whoever you had on this morning. Your crew is over here saying that I told them that Tesla was going to 150. That was not me though, correct?
that was not Jason. That was Steve.
All right, that was Steve. I am not actually Steve though.
You are you. People want you to be Steve, but you're not Steve.
Unfortunately, I'm not Steve though. But I did not come on. All right, buddy. Appreciate you, man.
Are you buying the dip?
I actually put an order in that day for 275. I did not think it was going to hit immediately, and it hit. That was my first level, and it hit, it filled. Legitimately kind of worried that it might have just been way too early, but I'm just rolling with it right now. But I'll go over Tesla today here in a little bit. But yeah, it's a definite focus for sure.
Okay, cool. All right, so we'll talk about it tomorrow on TT.
There you go.
See what you're thinking.
All right, brother. But I did not call 150, guys.
You did not call 150.
All right. Love you, man. I'll talk to you. Peace.
Later.
All right, there you have it. I did not do the 150. But anyways, hello, not Steve. All right. So we'll go over it today. Yeah, I did actually put that order for 275 in the other day, and I was shocked. If you're not Steve, I just blew my mind. Yeah, I was shocked, by the way, that I actually filled that day. Legitimately concerned that it might be too early, but we shall see. I'm definitely personally watching it for sure. So there's a couple things I need to see out of Tesla today for it to tell me whether or not it's ready to go. I do think, long term, it's just like tariffs in general. Like when we first saw the shenanigans go down, to me, it was like my first knee jerk or my first gut reaction was like, okay, this is all nonsense, because the truth of the matter is that it's all worry, right? It's all worry. And there's nothing that's actually happened in regards to tariffs, right? Like liquidation day, it was all, we're scared of what could be, what might be. And then he puts out this big poster board of holy crap numbers. But even then, nothing had actually been put out there. Like nothing had actually been concrete. It was just like, this is what we're going to do. But we hadn't actually done anything. And in that moment, it's like the market is in peak fear. We're like, holy shit, like it's going to hit the fan. It could get way worse. In that moment, the market thinks, this is what I'm seeing in front of me. It could actually get way worse. And so the market prices in way worse right then. And that ends up being the bottom. And so you'll hear, so when we think about this for a minute, right now, what has happened to Tesla, the business? Literally nothing has happened to Tesla, the business. And it's all just like what could be, what might be. Literally nothing has happened to Tesla, the business, aside from Elon's actually back at HQ. Yeah, he's still a little distracted. Yeah, you could maybe possibly have Trump be upset, but at the end of the day, he's literally done nothing. So that's in reality where we are. It's all just fear at the moment. Amp is in the house. Amp, are you free? If you want to swing by, Apple there you go. Apple releasing 3 new colors today. So on to Apple, reportedly not making a lot of new AI announcements, but 3 new colors today. Titanium 1, 2, and 3 shades. All right. We shall see, right? The business is performing terrible. I mean, this is where I am. I like Apple. I don't have a huge position anymore. I really need to see how the stock performs from here. I think it's at a good spot. We will look at the chart today. I think this is a pretty critical moment. Seasonally speaking, both Tesla and Apple are at their key pivots. People are tied up on this sell in May and go away thing. The last 20 years, that has not been the right move. It's not been the right move. It's been like hodl through June. June actually does pretty good. Usually it's a little choppy. And then the first 2 weeks of July are like extreme euphoria, which is like blast off time. And that is seasonally the best 2 weeks of the year for both. I believe it's Tesla, but definitively Apple. Um, and the next 2 weeks, give or take, I think are going to define for us how that goes for both of these stocks and therefore like the rest of the year. But we'll take a look at that. Also, if you like the split and the extra value creation, some of the parts, Warner Brothers Discovery, who's been like, at one point, this was actually one of the better performing stocks of the year. I think it was, what year was it? 2022 or 2023. This is actually a big company. It just, it's not going to beat Netflix, but interesting value split potentially. I always liked this company, but the debt is just massive. Definitely one to watch. Definitely one to watch. In terms of the seasonality thing, this is what I was talking about. It's the last press. So we are still here. It's the last press into July. So June is kind of like a toss-up, right? Generally speaking, it is good. May, last 20 years, has been big time good. And it's kind of been a toss-up, give or take, for June. But July, overall, has been like boomtown. So really, it's really the first 2, but potentially 3 weeks of July, that kind of mark the top before the summer swoon. It's called the summer swoon. What is Savage? Yeah, Savage is in masterclass for sure. And a bunch of you guys. I know that the mastermind for sure. You guys are all banking right now. And by the way, the sports betting in the server is crazy. If you're not in the server, by the way, today what I decided to do is I put a free link to the server for the first time. I'm just going to do that. We have a free section in the server. I don't usually like have that link out there, but I'm just going to start throwing that link. You guys can join the server for free. There's a free section. Hop on in. I'm there. Like, you can chat with us. Everybody's there. It's free. We do have a paid section, which is where we really live. But for sure, just jump in. It's in the link in the description, and you can chat with us whenever. But anyways, this is what we're looking at. This is going to be kind of be like that launch pad. If this is going to go down and we're going to get like that major rebound, some of these, specifically, it's going to be Tesla and it's going to be Apple. Peter, damn it. I am really, really working on this. I have a partner that runs Paper Gains with me, and this partner, we call him the Quant, and the Quant for many, 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 many years has always done the sports betting thing, but he on the side, and I've watched him do this for as long as I can remember, on the side has made at least $250,000 a year, just side sports betting. I'm like, this is crazy. And I finally convinced him to send me the freaking picks so I can share with the server. And it's been crazy. And now I'm trying to get him to do a masterclass. So just chill. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but we shall see. I wish I could post a picture here of my chart after taking, pretty harder than I could. Oh God. Yeah. So anyways, this is what we're gonna find out. So seasonally, this is the September kind of swoon and the summer swoon. So summer, everybody kind of takes vacations, things like that. It's all about this next couple weeks to determine whether or not we get that launch pad into that 4th of July weekend. And really we'll see, right? So we shall see from there. What I wanted to do, I'm just going to do a quick review. So again, I was running a little bit behind today, so I have a little just funkiness here. This is just tradingeconomics.com. This is the calendar that I use. You can use whatever you guys want. So this is last week's. Is this last week's? No. So previous week. So this is previous week. So we got Powell last week. So ISM manufacturing coming in, anything under 50 is technically contraction. Previous 48 sets. So this is fairly in line. Still contraction, so nothing major. Jolts coming in 739 versus a consensus of. So this is job openings, slightly higher. Maybe we have more quits. Non-farm payrolls coming in at 139 versus consensus 130. Nothing crazy, but let's go ahead and open this. I do want to see that just in terms of the trend. Yeah, pretty static here. There's been a trend in terms of the weekly numbers. Maybe I'll see it on this. And we get the weekly numbers every Thursday. Initial jobless claims. So this is the one I want to take a look at. Yeah, so initial jobless claims, this is a trend that I have been seeing. 247,000 that we got last week from two. This is starting to climb. This is if you're gonna have. So this is what they would call like soft data. So your soft data is still coming in slightly higher, climbing a little bit. If you wanted a case for a rate cut, it's right there. So we shall see. Unemployment rate staying at 4.2. Average hourly earnings coming in slightly higher month over month. Labor participation rate 62.4, which is fine. And NFP actually in line. So that's last week. This week, if we look at it, so today wholesale inventories, and when you're looking at these calendars, what you want to look for is like either consensus or forecast. The market does not move on the difference between actual and previous. Market only moves on if there's a big difference between the actual and the consensus or forecast. Consensus or forecast, that's what was priced in, like into the market at that point in time. So if something's different than the forecast, that will move the market. So like 3.6 to 3.2 inflation expectations. I mean, it's not a huge difference, but potentially move the market. That came out at 8 a.m. my time. I think my time. UTC -7. 6-month bill auction, 3-year note tomorrow. CPI Thursday. You know, we can do, let's go ahead and go to Lux. And I have this. So Lux, I'll go if you don't already. Here, you should do this. I'll just drop this in the chat. This is Lux. And Lux does a catalyst watch every week. Patrick snuck in that. So luxalgo.com. This is their catalyst watch. Lux. So Apple dropping. Can Trump delay the Tesla RoboTaxi launch? How high is inflation with tariffs? Here's the day-by-day market schedule below. I don't know if they're sending a signal here. Is there 1-800-Flowers? I don't know. But here we go. So Monday, New York Fed inflation expectation. We got that already. WWDC is at not. So it just started. This just started right now. NVDA tomorrow at a Jefferies conference, 1-year treasury auction, 3-year treasury auction, GitLab, and a little bit more. Then Wednesday, we do get CPI. That's going to be the big one. Crude inventories, Databricks keynote. Databricks keynote with Jamie. Interesting. But they're private. This needs a chili pepper for sure. So the two things that have been moving the market, I mean, anything trade related and also treasuries. So this treasury auction, this is at the lunch hour, just after the lunch hour on Wednesday. Guaranteed, this will move the market. So put this in your calendar. This is a pivot. You probably didn't recognize it or acknowledge it, but guaranteed, this is going to be your midweek pivot right here, regardless of whatever event is going on. Then you have PP. So that's after. So we got, oh my God, we got a lot. So Monday, where's CPI? So Wednesday, CPI out of the gate. Out of the gate. And then the treasury auction could either stoke a fire or put it out, one of the two. And then we got PPI right after that, and then expected RoboTaxi day. There's no tickets that went out. Okay, so WWDC should start in about 20 minutes. You guys, I appreciate that. Yeah. And then Thursday PPI. This is a freaking jam-packed week. RH, I'm actually interested in both of these, to be honest. I have not mentioned Adobe in a long time, and I have not mentioned this in the server, but the chart looks very interesting. RH is in the gulag right now. I actually bought some because I was like, this is way low, but I could be deadly wrong. We'll see. No tickets. I remember this is the funky one. So last year, RoboTaxi Day was supposed to be 9/9, and then it got pushed out to 10/10. I don't know if it got pushed out more than once. I don't know, but I don't remember. But then there were tickets. There are no tickets, I think, this time. So they're just gonna. I don't even know if it's a big event or what. So I have no idea. We haven't really heard anything about it this year, so I have no idea what to expect. It might be a non-event. It might be a big event. But if it's any kind of event, what's cool is that there's really not been anything announced about it. And the stock has not run up. So I definitely don't think it cannot be a sell the news event. It cannot be a sell the news event because there's nothing built into the stock price here. So I like that. It cannot go down off that. And then Friday, inflation expectations, consumer sentiment. So it is a busy freaking week, man. It is a busy week. Some interesting earnings for me on Thursday. Major events. So Thursday, RoboTaxi Day, PPI. Wednesday, CPI and the 10-year. Good God. Looks like tomorrow is our cleanest day. So today, post Apple, we should have clear skies through tomorrow. Midday, maybe, because tomorrow midday, they're all going to start thinking about CPI. God damn it. It's a choppy week. Friday jobs. Last Friday jobs. We'll take a look at it. All right. Well, there is one more piece that we really need to look at, guys, and that is your favorite part of the show, and that is the T in TA, which stands for, of course, tarot. So let's get to it. Okay, I did say I was a little quick or behind this. Oh my God. I was a little behind this morning. So I don't have the normal setup here. Yet I hope I did this right. Is that right? You guys see what I see? Yikes, Aroni. Let me just double check this. Oh, for sure. It is accurate. Well, yeah, I don't believe this. It's not a hangman, Patrick. Dude. They all see it. If you're a veteran of this segment, all you see is this card. All you see right now is this card. All right, so this is the way it works. Listen, we have a friend who we dub Miss Cleo. And Miss Cleo gives us a reading once a week. The way it works is we get a theme card for the week, and every day of the week we get another card. So this is a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is the theme card of the week. So this is I don't know, and I don't know this stuff, but this, it's for comedic relief. But I'll tell you what, she is deadly accurate sometimes, blows my mind. So this is 4 of Cups for the theme. I don't know. Really don't know what that means, but she'll tell us in a little bit. There are, Jesus. Fuck. So we got a 3 of Wands. We know wands are like typically like what we call impulsive. But 3 is a low number. This is the freaking card, man. I swear, this is like one of the worst cards in the deck. Sometimes. Analyzer. Steve should do Pokemon cards. This is like the death card. So I know this card because like this card, first of all, you see this little red stains. To me, it's like you're waking up literally in a pool of blood, but you're waking up in the dark. You got a bunch of swords falling down from above. This is the 9 of Swords. You're getting stabbed all over but like it's a nightmare card. You're waking up from a nightmare in a pool of blood. I don't know. Sometimes I remember it's like sometimes it's not as bad as you thought because it was just a nightmare. But scares the bejeebus out of you because it's like cray cray. That's what I know. That's what I know. I kind of want to go back to Lux and say, what the hell was Tuesday? Monday? I don't know what the hell Tuesday could possibly be. Maybe it's just the market reacting to Wednesday. I don't know. I have no idea. Then Wednesday, Queen of Swords. Who knows what that is? I don't know. Thursday is the Hermit. This guy is usually slow. I remember that. And then we have 10 of Wands, which could be a good day, but not usually the best day. But 10 is like the end. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Which means 9 is close to the end. I don't know. So what we do is here's the reading. So the theme card, sorry guys, I'm not the one that does the reading. I just read the reading. Theme card. God. Oh no, Emp is right. Tuesday is supposed to be the end of the tariff stuff because we're in the Trump market. That's right. And Tuesday, the talks are supposed to end. It's the China failed talks. He's right. That's what it is. Damn it. Can we have new cards? I don't know. Hey, look, maybe it's a dip buy. Miss Cleo will give the reading. Let's go. So, theme cards, the 4 of Cups. This card signals apathy. Oh my God. So the theme card signals apathy and disappointment. I'm not making this up. It's just what it is. I don't know. This often results from targets not met or positions stuck at flat while options expire. That's hilarious. Paper, we are cooked. I don't know, man. It it usually. I told you when we started this, man. I told you I wasn't looking forward to this week. Like we're at 600. Maybe it just goes sideways. It usually brings continuation, but with very little movement on the session overall. Therefore, I'm expecting some back and forth action in the form of trend days and reversal days. Okay, so here we go. So these are the days of the week. Days of the week. Monday, 3 of Wands. Crypto has this card on Friday and is expected to see impulsive action, but low energy and lots of chop. When drawn for stocks and following a major, which is like a theme, it usually, but we're not following a major, Miss Cleo. Why would you mention that? We're following a 3. Are we following a major? I don't know. It usually mean reverts with similar energy. This implies a red day for the market, possibly trending to the tune of 1 to 2%. Are we trending to the tune of 1 to 2%? I don't think so. She cray. Hey, Julie. I'm here for Miss Cleo too, but I appreciate you. Oh, Joseph knows what's up. Yeah, it is NFP day. This is why we don't swing. When drawn for stocks, it implies a red day for the market, possibly trending to the tune of 1 to 2%. There will be some wild swings, but I would trade momentum here. Okay. Tuesday, 9 of Swords. This is the card of nightmares, keeping us awake at night, haunting us. This is the card, man. I'm telling you, this is the card of nightmares, keeping us awake at night, haunting us with fears that may be unfounded. See? Fears that may be unfounded, sometimes good, sometimes bad. That's how this goes. Sometimes maybe not. I don't know. That's how all these things work. This usually results in a gap down that gets bought and bounces from there. Usually, maybe not. Who knows? There's still a strong chance of closing red, and chop is the best case scenario. Chop is the best case scenario for the bulls. So don't go too hard in the paint. Don't go too hard in the paint when you try to buy the pivot. Interesting choice of words, Miss Cleo, but I like it. All right. The better play is probably for the gap down. All right. Wednesday, Queen of Swords. Crypto sees this card and is predicted to chop around a little, cutting up both bears and bulls. You can expect similar here with a bias to the green side of the chart. All right. So Wednesday, she thinks is trendy green, right? But a close barely above flat. Okay. This is a typical Wednesday. So Miss Cleo is a trader now. It's a typical Wednesday. Predicted chop around a little, cutting up both bears and bulls, so sideways consolidation. And then if this is a small gap down, this is probably wait for the close, and then you get a little blip to the upside that barely closes flat. Thursday Hermit, it's another card shared by the crypto reading, and the meaning isn't that different here. He warns us to stay away. Guys, I'm just saying most of this looks like chillax. We got some really good sports stuff going on this week. And that means don't buy the dip, chase the rally. That means don't buy the dip, chase the rally, or go heavy on any particular trade. It means chill. There's a strong chance of a green close here, but I can see an early pop to sucker bulls that ultimately get reversed and leaves them in the red. So, not maybe trappy. There's the difference between the trappy and choppy. This sounds more choppy, but she's saying Thursday might look a little trappy. He has about 20% chance of trending. Friday is the 10 of Wands. This is a weird week with no real series pointing to continuation. So chop or follow on action. 10s usually close moves, but there's so much chop in the forecast that I'm not sure what could be closed. The chop could be closed. As you know, wands are impulsive, but this one loves to chop around and form tops and bottoms. It may even attempt to get the reversal party started, so the chance of trend is in the opposite direction of the major energy leading into it. But the most likely outcome is still chop. And then she put a nice little chart here. Interesting. I didn't know she had TradingView. But recap, it seems like nothing but chop this week. I think you'll be bored out of your mind. Don't fall asleep or try to chase trades. I mean, W for Miss Cleo. Actually, I think that's about right to me. What I will do is I'll go ahead and start. And this is my first view every day. Is just a sector view. For me personally, what we do. So first of all, two things. Number one, we are coming out. So this is my views: SPY, Qs, diamonds, IWM. Then right now I have the Dixie or the dollar. I also have Bitcoin looking constructive. Right now I'm watching the bonds, kind of the VIX, but this is what we're going to do. Of the majors, what we really want to look at, we have just now broken Friday's high, which happens to be our major level. Or no, we're not breaking. For those of you who do not know, the first Friday of every month, 9 out of 10 times, maybe not 9, majority of the time, marks the high and or the low for the month, every month. That happens to be right here. Right now, we are banging our head right up against it. I do not know if we're actually going to break it. I would not even venture to say that we have broken it yet. We are simply sitting on it. That's what I would say. In terms of an average weeks range, I will just grab this really quick and mark that. I have this as a built-in on my chart. This is an average weeks range. Right now, I'm going to take a lot of this stuff down so it's a little cleaner for you guys. And I will filter this to, I don't know, call it 5. You don't see all these. So the way this works, this is the box that we're currently sitting in right now. As of right now, this is, and I'm just using a 30-minute candlestick. We are opening below Friday's range. This 600.05, where this says February NFP low, that means that we are priced in the market at the same exact price that we were last February, right here. This is last February's box. So if we can stay in this box, this then becomes the range that we could trade up to, which is 608. If we can get over Friday's high. So that would put the next move, if we can get really a full day's open and then close above, what I would say is that the next move from price action perspective within a week or less, this might even be a day or two, would be into 608 and then stop, right? An average week's range would be actually all-time highs up to 625, 626, give or take, which makes sense. For now, the chop and possibly if we fail back in range takes us to 595, which happens to be Friday's low. Eddie, I'm glad this worked. I actually went in this weekend and tried to change the settings to see that it hopefully went into 1080p. The box that we're talking about chopping from is actually this. So we have been sideways for nearly 30 days, and we're finally getting out of that sideways chop. It was Friday's move that gives us potentially the ability to get out of that. What I will say is that 595.70 is absolutely critical because last Friday is a very small range for our NFP range. And if we lose, meaning if we have a day that we open below 595.70 and then we start to close below that, maybe if we have 2, possibly 3 days closing below this range, below 595, then within 24 to 36 hours, we will go directly to 578. I'm telling you that as a fact. There's zero question in my mind that that will happen. Call me crazy, whatever, but that is to me, I'm not 90%, I am 100% positive on that. That will happen. We also have a little session gap, but not until we get that criteria. So meaning we have to have 2, possibly 3 days closing below 595. That's not happening right now, right? If that starts to happen, then you're at risk. But until you get the trigger, that's not happening, right? If it does start, then you're at risk, but it's not happening until you get the criteria met. So just know, if that does happen, just also know the bottom of that box, that 30-day box, is simply 578, right? And so that would be, here's your consolidation. I would think that that would be a very good place to possibly start nibbling longer term and really possibly down to that 565, which has been like a glaring hole in the market to me. There are 2 major imbalances here that the market has had. One is at that 578, and the other is from a couple weeks ago, a pretty heavy imbalance that was created in the market around 565. So these two areas here, to me, if there's some kind of fallout on a trade war discussion, two areas of interest: one, 578, two, 565, both significant areas of interest to me to buy the dip, or at least get interested in buying the dip, but not just because price gets there. What I need to see is simple. It's like I need to have my own trading business plan. I need to have what we call a trigger, right? I need to have criteria met that says, hey, look, buyers are showing some kind of interest when we get there. Savage says, SPY just had an NFP look above and fail. And yes, NFP rules are absolutely king. This is a small 10-minute time frame that we're looking at right now. What he's talking about when we talk about a look above and fail, first of all, we have an open below. For all intents and purposes, I'm absolutely going to think that this is overhead supply. I am not thinking that this is a breakout right now. I'm not. Right now, we are in this little itty bitty teeny tiny box. If you're a futures trader, by all means, scalp away and expect to be in this box. If we come back and we close today below 600, I absolutely expect us to come back to this 595 area. And I also expect 595 to act as near-term support, right? And I expect us to bounce between 595 and 600 until one of these levels actually breaks. But until then, we'll see. Right now, this is acting like overhead supply or resistance. Until that resistance is broken, it is resistance. It's not broken yet. Broken means you get a break, and then you have a pullback, you have a little base, and then it goes up. And this situation is a little bit better. Honestly, these levels, these we call NFP levels, are the strongest levels that you'll ever find in the market. So I don't like to trade when we're really close to them. I like to see a little bit of a multiple structure break. So I might be more inclined to take a second when we're a little bit further away, kind of move, and then take that trade, maybe a little something like this. And again, my job as a trader, I only need to take a little piece of an existing move that's already happening in the market, right? I don't need to capture the whole thing. It's not my job. It's not my job. What are bro rules? Loretta, non-farm pay rules. Non-farm payrolls, we do a training almost every month, every other month. It's free. Essentially, do you know if you guys are active traders, you probably know what an opening range is, essentially. But really treat this non-farm payroll day like your monthly opening range. And once that range is broken, once that range is broken, I can't go into it right now, but maybe hop in the server. There's a free link and ask, and we will drop you a link to a training. But anyways, let's move on because we got a lot of stuff to cover today, guys. But that's SPY. Q's very similar. So Q's absolutely the same kind of thing. Again, first Friday of every single month. That's how that works. We still have it. I gotta clean these up sometimes. We are like higher time frame in general. This is definitively an uptrend. The question that we should be asking ourselves is this consolidation here long enough, this last 25, 30 days, long enough to really explode higher? And if so, to what end, right? To where, right? So right now we are simply testing Friday's high. We're not really out of that range. And to think that this first test explodes out of that, we'll see, right? We tried it once this morning. This is the second one. Maybe on the fourth attempt, it's a little bit stronger. But again, at that point, where do we go? This one's probably going to be to 540 to the upside. And if we start losing levels, well, then we got to go to the next levels down. So that's why 521, 514, and so forth. Then you have the 200 days just slightly lower on the Qs. Net, though, overall, broad market is clearly in an uptrend. So really the question is like, what does a buyable dip look like if the whole thing, there are significant structural gaps below that are compelling. Compelling enough that I have not wanted to personally like chase this market. When I say structural gaps, there are these, right? So both of these on all index level, on all the indices, it just like if there's an issue with China, Qs is going to be 488 for like 509 and then 488. There's some serious inefficiencies that went down in the market that to me are kind of just like screaming at me, right? Like these pullbacks, honestly, they're not that bad. Like a pullback to here would be 8%. Maybe that's a September thing. Maybe this goes significantly higher between now and then. That's possible. Maybe they never get filled, but they're kind of like screaming at me right now. And if this does go a little something like that, right? That's honestly great, right? Totally fine. But these are at some point, I mean, they're really juicy. This would be perfect. And quite frankly, that would be like a beautiful little cuppy handle, whatever, to launch this to new all-time highs. But this still sets up for potentially July, early July kind of rip, or maybe it's a June kind of chop. Who knows? But that's what I'm watching out for. We will know definitively if we start cracking new all-time highs. We're going, right. We're just absolutely going, and it's all good. And I don't have to worry about these downside gaps because they're not going to come into play anytime soon. And I really don't have to worry about them. But until we start breaking each consecutive high, in a moment like this, I do kind of want to be a little cautious that they exist, and I don't want to press my bets too close to like major resistance. Is on this one. On this one, it is 521. So if QQQ gets multiple closes below 521, then pretty quickly under, let's say 520, under 520, it's going to be, all right, we are now back in a near-term downtrend, and we're going to start filling those. So anyways, if you have a couple tickers, go ahead and drop them. I'm going to do a time check right now. I'm okay. I'm going to get to some that I want to do. So before we start jumping into them, what I will do is jump into Tesla, since these are my picks. So Tessie, couple things. Let me just clean this up. So Tesla, on my chart, I will tend to have a 20-day, a 50-day, and a 200-day simple moving average. What I'm looking for, so this is what happened. We have this huge break. Tesla in general was already looking a little, let's call it toppy, right? So toppy meaning up here. This was already looking extended. We'd already hit our larger target. So this being the broader downtrend that it had broken. So this was already broken. We had measured from here to here. This was that 50% retracement, also kind of tying into this area right here. If I tried that across, this was our upside target. It had hit our upside target already from this broken downtrend. So that's perfect, right? Perfect. And then now we have come back down. And where have we come back down to? In this instance, it's almost like perfect. We look at this consolidation area right here. If I were to draw this straight across, and this is why I had that 275, this is 285. I have this, and there happened to have been a little baby teeny tiny gap or right in here at 276, which it like wicked right into. And now holding just over that prior consolidation area, which happens to be that prior entry level right here, where we took the trade last time. Just because it's sitting here doesn't mean it's ready to go. Right now, so stocks do two things. They're running and they're resting. So meaning this was a run, this was a rest, this was a run. So it's perfectly normal for Tesla to go into a little bit of a rest pattern here. I don't need it to explode in my face right now, but I do want to watch and respond to see how it reacts right now. In the meantime, I can get a little bit more granular from a week to week perspective and say, okay, so what's going on here? At this point, 320, this is the moment in time where Tesla just really took a nosedive, right? I'm going to take this box right here up to 358, which is that 50% retrace beforehand. 358. And then the lower box of this consolidation is going to be about 330 right here, lining up currently with the current 20-day simple moving average. This red line is the 200. This blue line is the 50-day simple moving average. This moment is the moment where Trump and Elon decided to just explode on each other. Whatever is going on, who knows? There happens to be what we call like a fair value gap, where we have a large candle that appeared, and this whole area right here created an imbalance in the market. Where I can zoom in. If you watch this right-hand side of my screen, if I zoom in a little bit further, this is a massive imbalance here. So all of this is just like whoosh. You can see it. Anyways, well, I know it exists. I already did this analysis earlier. Let me get this cleaned up. Where's my? Oh, that's up there. Hello. So at 320, technically it's right here, 321. There is all of this imbalance, where basically it was just massive amounts of stops getting run. Everybody stop, just insta sell all the way down to right about here. So what we're going to say is roughly about 320. If Tesla is at 320, then the market is at that point pricing out all of the child's play, tweet shenanigans, explosive tweets. That's now priced out of the market, and we're now talking about a different Tesla. The low of that moment is here. So below this here, we're actually pricing in more fear, right? Inside this, we have a little bit of a gap here, and we have yesterday's pivot as well as the 200-day. So right now, I have this 304. So what I can say definitively is over 305, at least from a week-to-week perspective, over 305.50, we actually should shoot this $15 like very quickly. In terms of today, this is Friday's range. If we're over, wow, it's pretty close. We're almost halfway back today of Friday's range. So this, what happened yesterday over the weekend, it looked bad this morning. So stock this morning going down, quickly bought up. The sellers could not press this down any further. This is constructive. Yesterday's low is 291. So any close today over 291 is actually a sign that the sellers could not press this further downside. They could not press this down, which means that it has to go further up. So what I would say here is that as long as this is over 291, we're probably going to go back up to 305, which honestly, in this case, if we're over this 298.5, we're like a definitive going to get sucked up over here. So I would say 298.5. That's today's double top intraday. Any close over here, this is an imminent move, and very likely up to. So I'd say 320, man. as long as this is, if this even closes down here over 291, if for whatever reason we're below 291, then this whole thing is off. But this whole area, I think, would be dip buyable for this type of move into the week. But that's all I would be looking at for this week. And that would price out, that would be ultimate target in its entirety here. But these two moves here would be day trade type moves. This move in its entirety from here to here, I think would be swingable type moves, which would kind of look like this type of a position, just like that. That's a 5-to-1 risk reward. That's how I would trade this. Up to 320. Anything over that is kind of luck, but not really a measured move, and that's just for the market to price out this Elon type of shenanigans. That's what I'd be looking for, and I'd be looking for that to happen as a RoboTaxi type event. Below 291, though, it's no good. Won't Tesla be affected this week by whether RoboTaxi pilot takes place? No. So I think that it will not. I think that there's nothing good. There's no RoboTaxi price. So the price action of Tesla has been de-risked. Any RoboTaxi. So remember, where was Tesla at the election? Election prices of Tesla. This is like election prices. November, April. This is October. This is November. So we're talking about Tesla being priced back into election level pricing. I mean, pre-election, basically. Then we've had multiple events, and we've come down significantly. There's no RoboTaxi priced in here. None. So I think it's been absolutely de-risked. But there's a clean, definitive moment here that is crystal clear to me, is that, and that's 291. If Tesla's below 291, yeah, there's definitely downside risk, and the near-term trade is absolutely off. But it's close to that, maybe even this morning. Like, I can look at this and I'll say this morning's price action, super near term, just intraday. This little blip from this morning, here's this morning's opening range. If I got a move that looked a little something like this, so this is, we did have a little gap, little tiny gap, fair value gap. If Tesla came down like this today, maybe even tomorrow, held this 287 and did a little something like that, I think this is good. I think that is good. Actually, I would love this. But 290, this would be like my little liquidity grab. If it's over 291, I think we're happening. This box is 50% of Friday's range. So over this, I think we're go. Right now, this is just the second test of this. So again, if you're a good bull, you got to know where the bears are hanging out. So the bears are hanging out. I don't think it's going to break through right here, right now. No. But I think that it could spend some time to chop through here. Again, if this is going to come down, maybe even do a little liquidity grab like this, that's the kind of trajectory. Remember, we have till Thursday or something for this to happen. So no rush. But this, anything down in here as close to 286 for a quick bounce, that's going to be my hard stop. And I'd want to see it to get quickly over 291, which is Friday's high or Friday's low, and the 50-day simple moving average. I mean, I have to pull the ripcord and exit stage left if it's below today's low. That's just going lower. But for right now, this looks constructive. It tried to. I don't see the bears winning this at the moment. They're trying, but these bears suck, man. That's all. All right, so other one, Apple. Boom. All right, so WWDC has happened. 10 o'clock, 10:20 Pacific. This is what we're looking for. This is a sell the news event. This is a small sell the news event right now. We're kind of squeezy. Today, maybe tomorrow. This is pretty normal. I think we look for Apple to kind of base. what I'm looking for here, this is the trade war zone, literally right in here. We're going to come in and test it for the 1, 2, third time. Thing about Apple is I don't know. I don't think that whatever's going to happen is enough to be like, oh, Apple's a shit stock, right? It's not a crap company. It's just not going to have the epic growth. So the question is really, to me, whether or not the sell-off is going to be warranted, and and we'll see whether or not the market believes that this sell-off makes Apple more of a de-risked entity after the fact, right? And so last year, this was a 24-hour sell-off, really nothing. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this area of the most recent consolidation, and I'm going to pull out 198 and a quarter right here, right now. There is a very teeny tiny fair value at 195, actual session gap. That's an area of interest, but whatever today's close is, that's going to be the area of interest to me. If it cannot break down below that tomorrow, shit, this might be happening right now. Last year, it was this fast. That's it. Keynote's over. From here, this price action is this is it. If it's over tomorrow's high, or if it's over today's high tomorrow, the sell-off is over. It is that simple. Whether or not this gets over 215, that's crucial. But yeah, I don't think a big sell-off is in the cards here. It's already too de-risked. So what I'm looking at in general, so what we're going to do is this last consolidation area is right in here. Right here for Apple. I know you guys have like requests and stuff, but honestly, these are, from an options trading perspective, these are we can make money here. Sorry. So I have two spots. So one is this little blip on the radar. Right now, this is 206. Right here. This is a week to week. If I get this move, I'd be looking for one of two options. Either I get this to here, and I'd be looking at a maybe 1 week. So remember, 4th of July weekend is Apple's best performing week as a stock. 20 and 50-day simple moving averages are very tight together. So this is setting up extremely squeezy. I would not believe the near-term price action here, and I have to let this breathe just to see how this is going to play out over a couple days or over a day or two. Not a long time. If I see a knee jerk down at 195, I'm buying this bad boy. I don't care. But I don't see it happening right now. First stop is going to be 207 at this first flip, but honestly, I see 211 happening as that main target to retest this consolidation area. Ultimately, it's this area here that would be that target at 220. So I think in between now and 4th of July weekend, if I can get a trade from here to here, that's actually 12%. That would definitely beat the market. And I would be looking, and it's not anything crazy, but that would be within a month or two to fill this major move from here to here. And I'm looking at, we have a lot of consolidation right here. So 220 is going to be the primary upside target on Apple into the 4th of July weekend. This could end up looking a little bit something like that here. But the trade is going to start down here. And I have this volume shelf. There's going to be two levels of this. One is this volume shelf, and the other is this area. So the first one definitely going to be like, so I have this. This is a little bit of a chop zone, but I want to start it down here. This 205 to 211 is going to be a quick shot, and then 211 to 220 is going to be the bigger move. Yeah, it's still coming down. Let this go. I'm going to be watching it. Ooh. $195. We're just dealing with these. these little blips. 198, potentially down to 195. These are my two areas. I like this area with this session gap. This could be a quick flush. It might get scary. I'm definitely interested here to fill this area. I don't know if it's going to get there. They're defending. They don't want to sell it. It's already down so low. Is it really? Yeah, BA is just going today. All right. So I kind of laid this out. This is happening, Apple. This is a typical sell the news event. I think it can come down to 195 at most, which I would just buy. And I think upside in the next 30 to 45 days is as high as 220. Let's just take a look at the rest. Sorry, I was geeking out on that for a little bit. I know it's one it's kind of like one of those annual trades. I need to wait for it to be ready though. Right now, something's happening. Boeing, good God. I mean, this is just, look, I have no interest in selling Boeing right now. I'll just tell you that. I think we talked about this earlier. Boeing is going to be a generational turnaround. It is GE 2.0. I do not care what you have to say about Boeing. I could care not. It is what it is. If you don't like it, well, you're wrong. And that's what it is. So with that said, it's a great looking chart. Here's the long term. Was I too? I'm bullish. Yeah. Yeah. You know, how many planes can you crash and it still stay up? You can't keep it down, man. It is. Yeah. I have no interest in selling this anytime soon. This moment, though, in time is a very spring loaded area in the chart. And I will say it goes to 225 very quickly, right? So here is that massive consolidation area. What you're looking at is that if I draw this across and now on a weekly chart, right? Big time pivot, boom, 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 boom. What? Well, like hello, of course, right? Also, I'll drop down to the daily. It was just a matter of time, right? This daily we see last week, matter of time, but like, do we know exactly when? Today, any mastermind students in the house? What's this? Boom, boom, boom. Who's got this? Anybody? What do we call this? Oh, come on, guys. There you go. Is it too late to buy VA at this point? I mean, depends on your time horizon. It depends on your time horizon. If you could guess what my price target is, breakout retest now. I mean, yeah, sure, it is. Yeah, this is a breakout. So you have a breakout, you have a retest, correct in that case, right? And you have a trigger right here, right? You have your 3 candle trigger. But this is going. So whenever it gets to this, and watch this. So I'll put this and I'll make another horizontal level. So this is a giant candle, right? Like, where does Boeing tend to get like giant candles? So this is at 212. This is at 212. This is just above 212. 212, 212. Downside 212. This is right dead center consolidation. 212. 212. 212. So around 212. So one would say, kablam, 212. So one would say, no, it's not too late. 212. 212. 212. No, I wouldn't say it's too late. It depends on your time horizon to 235. So the box goes from 212 to 235. That is the box. Le box goes to 235. Boom. This is our trigger. We're going to 235, boys and girls. Very near term. That is what's happening. We have now surpassed this entire volume shelf. We are going to 227, up into 235. Meow. So is that where it stops? No. I guess it depends on what you're buying for. Is it too early, too late to buy? I'm going here. Where are you going? Couldn't tell you. I'm going there in years. I work for the FAA. I can't buy Boeing. You know what? My dad worked for the FAA, and he has like this mental block about owning Boeing for sure. No. Peak to peak, baby. Yeah. No, there you go. Come on, 212 Rev. There it is. There's my crew. They were there. Savage, you have extra homework. Ah! All right. But let's see, 3 up on JPM. All right, we'll do Savage. Oh, actually. So Savage is calling JP Morgan. This is actually looking very good consolidation right here. What he is looking at right now is this intraday candle starting out as a directionally down day. Now, intraday breaking out to new highs. This is very strong. This is as bullish gets. We call this bullish engulfing. Out of this, you're looking ready to roll, ready to rock and roll. You get some continuation. Doesn't have to happen right now, but dips will likely be bought on Diamond. This is looking good. Let's see if you get over this actual consolidation. Oh, it's gonna get nasty. Oh, it's gonna get wild. 269.57. Just under 270. You got a massive pivot. Massive. Kaboom. This is looking good. You definitely, absolutely want to put this on your radar. This is a good trade to watch. Anybody know why? So you got 2 spots. So this is like $3 away from this actual. So I have this line here. This line is like, all right, well, it's kind of far away, but you're very likely to get at least here, which is not the trade. Some people might take profit there. I probably would not. You might get up to there, and maybe it'll come in a little bit here, and maybe you might chop around a little bit. But the larger trade is going to be, boom, right into there. And this moment, and you can see this whole area as your kind of supply. But this, which is not a earnings event right here, is what we call a fair value as well. So good eye on the setup as a watch me kind of move. This 277 to $7 right here. This is going to be a very fast move. A lot of Momo that will happen on Jamie Diamond Stonk here. But yeah, easy into the 270s for sure. And then you'll get a little stutter step, and eventually there's going to be an explosive move over 270. I love that one. Did I do Rocket Lab yet? No, I didn't. I think we should save that for tomorrow from it. I mean, dude, okay, what can I say? Rocket Lab. I mentioned it. I don't even know. I think a lot of these are getting a little extra juice because they're kind of anti-SpaceX. I do think Uncle Elon and Trump will probably kiss and make up. I would be a little concerned about them, these pulling back, because I think they're a little extra juiced coming in. I have seen this UPS request, but I will save this for tomorrow. So there's a hello. UPS has sent out a notice to employees that they will be shifting. There'll be some massive layoffs for sure. This is major consolidation. Good catch, good call. Over point of control here. That's a big stick today. Is there any news, guys? Anything happening right now? Any news on UPS Live? I do not know. Dude, TradingView news sucks. This stock has been in the gulag for, I don't know, somebody knows, years, couple years, definitively. This looks like a beautiful bear flag that I would not short. This has been coming down. This is, if you don't know distribution, accumulation, all that kind of stuff, this is beautiful, right? I mean, this is picture perfect 1909 Wyckoff distribution and has completed now. So if you do get actually back to this, you've come back to a very interesting point in the chart where this is 2000 level point of control, $97. Is there enough of a catalyst? It's clearly de-risked. I forgot who the CEO is, but they're going to go through a shift. The question is, analyzed supervisor for 5 years. Yeah. So the question is there enough juice here that is going to be worth the squeeze? Is it, what's the valuation going to be worth? Is it ever going to be worth $200 again? Is it a double? I mean, just from an inflationary perspective, it's worth more probably than $100. But is it worth $200? I don't know. Right. So that's the question. There's a lot of packages going out. Does UPS get them? I think it's underpriced. It's been underpriced for a long time. This is a good move. They're trying to lean up. It's still transformation era. So right now, it's not out of the box. It looks good. Hard truth, it's not out of the box yet. I kind of like, this looks interesting. I would like to see it over 100 comfortably, honestly. I've taken many shots. The setup here from a simple moving average perspective, listen, this is really good. This is as squeezy gets, definitively. And that's why you're getting this kind of a move right here and right now, because this price over both the 50 and the 20-day simple moving average with a gap and go, kablam, kablooey, you're going to go near term to $100, like in the next 48 hours or 36 hours, maybe. Like it's going to happen. You're going to get one of these impulses, kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. But the question to me is like whether or not you sustain that boom and you sustain it and hold it over 100, or is it like one of these beach balls that boom and then go sideways for like another year? I don't know, right? That's what I need to see. So today looks great. There's a lot of potential here, but show me a little bit more. Put it on watch. Don't take your eyes off of it. Don't sign off either. But value possible, easy move over 101 to 108 easily. But so like this is if you're over 102, like this. If you're over these little top wicks to 102, you are going to get that move quickly, tradable move into 108. That's tradable. But I don't want to get faked out just yet. But it looks like it's happening, but that's how they get you. Very good looking chart though. All right. So my stock to buy Amazon. You know. Tesla still going? Jan. Telling you guys. Looks good. Can it come down? Yeah. But that's my NVDA. 143, I think was there. Yeah, no, not ready. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. We can do a little bit more in depth there. HIMS. I am interested in HIMS. Also not ready. So I'm very quick on some of these. The reason I can tell right away is like when a stock they open at the highs. So this is pre-market. They open the highs. They have a quick move But what I need to see from a stock intraday is I need to see this instantly go above what the opening price is. This is a telltale no, right? So very quickly, this is telling me that no, you're not ready right here, right now. If a little bit long term, you're actually more in danger. I think that if you get a dip, or you're gonna hate me, closer to the low end of these 40s, you gotta buy hymns on like a big old pullback. 35s. You can ride it, but you gotta. Your entry is like, it's such a squeezy stock. You gotta wait. Sub 45. You gotta get it on pullback. Can't take this one in strength because right now you're losing the 20-day simple. And so, like this, not a good look. The bears are actually winning. If this is your consolidation, you so interestingly enough, like this is a chart where the bears have control right here, right now. It is a question of whether or not they can capitalize. So the bears in this case should be able to push her down, but they've done so and it's come back up, and then they've been able to push her down, and then they push her down, and then it rallies back up and they push her down. So here, to me, what this means is that it should, again, at least get pushed down to this 52. Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, like, which is this session gap here, 51.82. The bears should be able to do that. If they fail, and they are doing that right this moment, if they fail to, and I have no interest in trading this. I know it's a $5 move, but like HIMS, I don't know. I don't day trade it. This is where they've been buying it. I just don't know if there's enough interest from the bears to, and so it's stuck in this box. This becomes the bears or the bulls. I just don't know if there's enough interest from the bulls down here to outweigh the bears' interest up here, because this becomes the battle zone and they keep pushing it down, right? Well, these guys will buy it up, and this is like your battle, right? And so eventually, at this pivot, someone's going to win, and it'll either go like this to the next level, which would be down there, or the bulls win and it goes that way. But I don't know which way it's going to win yet, because the battle is still on. So for that reason, and that reason alone, I cannot read this chart yet. It's too early. Okay. Did it? Oh, yeah, I wanted 195. Oh, geez. Yeah, I mean, it's there. It's there. Any of this is there. I mean, last one. Okay, wait. I want Arista. So Celsius. You know what? I'll do Celsius and I'll do Arista. I don't say about Celsius. Celsius over 31. It was a buy. Now I guess the question is to what? It's to 47. Yeah, it's cleared the next hurdle. 43. It's going to 48. Look at that. I mean, if you caught the 20s, you're already double. You're at the top now. This was such a slow grinder. Interesting. I didn't think that it would recover this fast. I thought I'd have more time on this. but it's okay. You came back, retested the supply down here. Big pop. 39s. It looks like 48s. It looks like 48s. You want to have 30, between 39 and 37 and a half holds. It can pull back, but it's on trajectory currently to 48. There you have it. Arista. Holding. So Arista's at a big holding, but not breaking out. So holding this big area here, little double top, just give this one time to breathe. It's made a huge run off the lows. I mean, huge run off the lows. So congrats to anybody here. You are up 60% and change off the trade war lows, right up into these like critical so like resistance area or breakdown areas. So prior support clearly now acting as future resistance. You need to give these other simple moving averages kind of time to catch up. So I honestly expect this to kind of stall out for a bit before it's able to take that next move. It needs a catalyst, which we don't really have one for Arista anytime soon until August. So I would actually give this about 20 to 30 days of just breathing time and not do much with it. All right, guys. So that's it for now. I appreciate everybody. It's been a lot. I will see you if you're not with me tomorrow. Amit says we got Technical Tuesday on deck. So I will be over there mañana. In the meantime, if you've not checked out the server, go ahead, check out the link in the description. We opened up that free channel for anybody to jump in and say what's up. And other than that, I'll see you on the next one. All right, guys. Adios. Peace out. Have a great one. Later.